It was a hot, muggy summer afternoon when I received a frantic knock at my door. I opened it to find Karen, the infamous HOA tyrant, standing there with a furious expression, pointing toward my barn. She was convinced that the HOA had the authority to demolish it immediately, and she had come to enforce her own twisted version of justice. "Your barn is illegal," she shouted, waving her arms. "It violates community regulations. You have to take it down now." I raised an eyebrow, keeping my voice calm. "Karen, the barn is fully permitted. All approvals were obtained months ago, including HOA clearance. It's compliant with zoning and building codes. You do not have the authority to destroy it." Her eyes widened in disbelief. "You think you can defy the rules? You're just lucky I didn't call the authorities yet." I shook my head. "No luck involved. I followed the rules. If you want to escalate, I suggest you read the official documentation rather than making baseless accusations." Karen, of course, ignored me. Within minutes, she stormed into the property, threatening to call in the entire HOA board and local code enforcement. I sighed. It was going to be one of those days. I calmly followed her outside, presenting the documents proving the barn's legality. Permits, HOA approval letters, and photos taken throughout construction. "Karen, these are the official approvals. The barn is fully compliant." She snatched the papers out of my hands and skimmed them, muttering angrily, This doesn't count. You're hiding something. I'll see to it that it comes down." I knew she wouldn't stop until she felt she had won, so I decided to escalate strategically. I called the HOA, explaining the situation in detail and requesting an immediate on-site review. Within an hour, a representative arrived, clipboard in hand, ready to assess the barn. Karen launched into her tirade, pointing at the structure, claiming hazards and citing imaginary codes. The HOA representative listened patiently, then reviewed my documentation. After carefully examining the barn, measuring distances, and verifying compliance, the representative looked at Karen with clear disapproval. "Ma'am," the official said firmly, "all documentation is in order. The barn is fully compliant with community guidelines. Your complaints are baseless and considered harassment." Karen sputtered, attempting to regain authority. But, I'm protecting the neighborhood. This is illegal." The representative shook their head. "Without evidence or legal basis, any further interference can result in fines, suspension, or legal action. Your behavior is being documented." Karen's face turned red with fury, but she had no choice. She stormed back to her car, muttering threats and dramatically waving her arms. The neighbors, who had been watching from their porches, couldn't help but smirk at the spectacle. Once she left, I documented the entire incident. Photos of the barn, copies of permits, timestamps, and witness statements from neighbors. I submitted a full report to the HOA, ensuring that Karen's actions would be recorded and that any future harassment would have consequences. The next few weeks were peaceful. Karen attempted to send a few emails, but they were dismissed immediately by the HOA thanks to my thorough documentation. My barn remained standing, fully legal and completely undisturbed. Reflecting on the situation, I realized the true victory wasn't just preserving the barn. It was demonstrating that preparation, patience, and calm, evidence-based responses could neutralize even the most aggressive HOA tyrant. Karen's repeated attempts to intimidate and control had only backfired, leaving her credibility diminished and her authority questioned. By summer's end, the barn stood proudly on my property, a symbol of persistence and quiet triumph. Neighbors began to recognize that while Karen thrived on drama, careful planning, and a calm, methodical approach could defeat her every time. My property was safe, my peace of mind restored, and the lesson clear. Entitlement and chaos will always falter when faced with patience, logic, and preparation.